The scene unfolds across open terrain in the Zaporizhzhia direction. A Russian military truck carrying a group of soldiers moves steadily toward Ukrainian defensive lines. From above, a Ukrainian drone detects the movement and quietly closes the distance without being noticed. The soldiers remain unaware of the approaching danger until the drone rapidly approaches and makes contact with the vehicle as it crosses the exposed field. A Russian soldier remains motionless in dense bushes, aware that an FPV drone is monitoring the area. Believing that staying still will help him avoid detection, he refrains from moving and waits. However, despite his attempt to remain concealed, aerial surveillance continues to track his position. On March 1, 2026, Ukraine's 54th Mechanized Brigade identified a Russian soldier moving across open terrain. An FPV drone was immediately deployed, initiating a pursuit. The soldier attempted to engage the aircraft but was unable to effect its flight. The drone circled continuously, seeking an optimal observation angle. With little cover available in the terrain, the soldier's options were limited. Despite repeated attempts, the small and highly maneuverable drone remained uncontested, highlighting the challenges of countering such aerial reconnaissance. An open field. A Russian soldier comes face-to-face with an FPV drone, unarmed and without protective gear. In a desperate moment, he reaches out and briefly makes contact with the drone using his head. This time, the focus is on Russian soldiers traveling by vehicle on the Donetsk front. Realizing that a fiber-optic drone was approaching their position, the soldiers immediately exited the vehicle and moved away from the area to avoid the incoming threat. In the same area, the Donetsk region, Ukraine's Signum Battalion continued to monitor and engage a significant number of Russian soldiers and military vehicles. Usually positioned in wooded terrain, the Russian soldiers experienced confusion and uncertainty, unsure how to react to FPV drones. Observe the Russian soldiers; they are highly exposed to the drone operations. The focus is not limited to personnel. Military vehicles deployed to set up new defensive positions were also monitored and engaged. Why do you think Russian forces, despite repeated incidents in the same locations, continue sending soldiers to those same positions? Observe how the Russian soldiers attempt to outrun a pursuing drone while riding an ATV, but they struggle to gain enough distance from it. The situation unfolds in a small village where a Ukrainian drone spots a lone Russian soldier crossing open ground. One hand rests inside his jacket pocket, while the other carries a bucket, suggesting a routine task. Suddenly, he stops, sets the bucket down, and moves into a nearby bush, likely responding to a faint mechanical sound overhead. The drone descends and moves cautiously, navigating from shrub to shrub while scanning for movement. After confirming his concealed position, it closes the distance with precise control. He remains seated and still, both hands tucked inside his jacket pockets, unaware of how close the drone has approached. The situation unfolds in Pokrovsk as a Ukrainian drone identifies a lone Russian soldier moving across open ground. He suddenly quickens his pace, reaches a small mound, and sits down briefly to recover. Moments later, a low-flying drone approaches with measured precision. As the sound overhead grows louder, the soldier reacts, grabs his rifle, and fires upward. By that point, however, the aircraft has already closed much of the distance, significantly limiting his ability to respond effectively. The following footage likely takes place near a ruined village in Kornihi Oblast. A Ukrainian drone observes and tracks a lone Russian soldier moving slowly along a tree line at the edge of the settlement. Fatigue or prolonged pressure from the front line appears to dull his awareness. He focuses solely on the path ahead, seemingly unaware that a Ukrainian drone is following directly behind him, despite the audible engine noise. At one point, a piece of plastic becomes tangled around his boot, yet he continues walking without stopping to remove it. As the soldier approaches the village and nears a roadside utility pole, the trailing Ukrainian drone closes the distance. With the position fully confirmed, the drone advances, effectively bringing the movement to an end under direct aerial observation. We open today's episode with the 1 second before segment. This time, the focus is on the pilots of the Security Service of Ukraine. The SSU has long expanded beyond traditional counterintelligence. Today, it also deploys operational units working directly on the front line with their own drones, pilots, and measurable outcomes. In the footage, we witness actions that are hard to describe in words. The drone approaches as closely as possible, not from a safe distance, but up close. Confusion, urgency, and rapid decision-making unfold. Russian soldiers have very little time to react because the situation develops almost instantly. An FPV drone at this proximity leaves extremely limited options. SSU pilots operate with precise control and efficiency. No unnecessary movements. The effectiveness of their operations is clear in every frame. The encounter unfolds in Dnipropetrovsk. A Ukrainian drone identifies a Russian soldier seated against a tree trunk. At one point, he lifts his rifle and checks the magazine before settling back into position. Flying low and close to the ground, the drone advances with deliberate control, minimizing its acoustic signature. The soldier remains alert, scanning his surroundings while leaning against the tree. Gradually, the aircraft reduces altitude and narrows the distance at a steady pace. When it finally nears his position, he reacts in sudden alarm, but has little time to respond. A Ukrainian drone observes 3 Russian soldiers entering a house. They move cautiously through the structure, checking corners and windows as if preparing a defensive position. After some time, an FPV drone approaches and conducts an operation near the front entrance, shattering the door and sending dust into the air. Another drone hovers above, scanning the surroundings and maintaining continuous surveillance over the site. A subsequent strike further weakens the structure, eventually leading to its collapse. Smoke rises from the debris, underscoring how what was assumed to be cover can quickly become unsafe. The sequence reflects a broader reality of modern conflict. Fixed positions offer no guaranteed protection when constant aerial observation and rapid drone deployment shape the battlefield. The situation unfolds in the Pokov direction as a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone observes 2 Russian soldiers moving through a heavily damaged village. The lead soldier approaches a small field toilet beside a collapsed house and signals to his partner on the road to come closer and rest. Both enter the structure, unaware they are being monitored from above. The drone maintains altitude, observing patiently. Inside, the soldiers sit and speak quietly, attempting to recover. After confirming there is no movement outside, the drone begins a gradual descent, flying low over rubble and uneven ground. It approaches the structure with controlled speed, adjusts its angle, and positions itself carefully near the entrance, demonstrating how aerial surveillance can track routine pauses and moments of reduced alertness in a contested zone.